Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis. In this video I want to go over Excavation Site 12. Typically a pretty fast lost sector, one that you can actually farm pretty quickly. I'm going to do this unoptimal loadout style, so you can do this much better than what I'm doing. But I figure I'll show you a low version and you can make this much more optimal. Now the threat is solar, so we'll take care of a little defense there. It does say shields are arc. Now if you're on this on Legend, you might have a couple of arc shields, not anything you really have to worry about, since shields are not quite as detrimental as they used to be. But on Master, you literally have no shields, it's all champions. Overcharge weapons, of course, you guys know those from seasonal activities and kinetics if you're subclass matches. And then also Void Surge and Strand Surge. So all of that out of the way, let me get out of the line of fire over here and we'll go over my loadout. So first thing, we've got Unstop. Unstop, I'm going with a basic scout rifle. I've got a Void Scout rifle since I know that's part of the Surge, and also it'll kind of play into my Void build if I do pick up an orb or make things volatile with my shield or my grenades, things like that, then going with a Void Scout rifle. You could literally do any Scout rifle, it is not a big deal. Void just plays a little more into my build, so if you have a different build, that's totally fine. I was using this for a previous run, it worked too. Literally whatever you want, find it. This is just one I hadn't used in a while, I was like, yeah, sure. Now, for barrier weapon, do I advise something more than a kinetic pulse rifle? 100%. One of my easiest ones to tell everybody to use right now, Arbalist. One, this was like a go-to for a long time, still going to be pretty good. Not quite as good as it used to be, but still pretty good. The easiest one, though, if you have Wishender, it is from the Shadowthrone dungeon, it's from the Forsaken expansion, so you would need to own that at some point to be able to get it. But the fact that this thing hits so hard on barrier champions as well, it's a really good barrier weapon. So if you don't have it, use it. I've ran that before. It's very good. And then when you run out of heavy, you can use the Wishender for boss DPS. It's still strong. So heavy weapon, I'm literally just using a machine gun, mostly because you have a lot of champions in here. And depending on how you're working them down, the ammo helps. Because my first run, I was running with something like Revenant for a grenade launcher. Major spec on there. Void, not bad. Just was not doing that much. I do not feel like grenade launchers hit hard enough right now. They still don't. It's weird. Machine guns feel better. And the ammo helps. So now you could use something like Leviathan's Breath. Definitely good. If you wanted to go sword on some of the unstops and keep the barriers at range, you could do something like that. I just don't think grenade launchers feel that great right now. But machine guns actually do. Now my optimal one would be my Retrofit Excavate Crafted 4x target lock. Of course, that thing's fantastic. But I did have a Circular Logic, just a random drop from Neomuna. It does have target lock, so it's not too shabby. Figured I'd use that one. I am using Exotic over here, so forgive me. But being as I don't get too much out of my abilities on this one, you'll just have to let that one go. Solar Resistance, Concussive Damper. That's going to be for fire. That's going to be for anything area of effect. The Blast from the Unstoppable Champions. And then Sniper, anything at long range, which will include those barrier champions if their minigun starts lighting you up. Other than that, I'm just kind of going a little grenade kickstart, utility kickstart, picking up an orb, I can get a whole bunch of stuff back. Heavy ammo finder as well, kinetic siphon if I do get grenade kills, and then just kind of anything else you want to throw in there. Maybe I want to go strand siphon if my machine gun's getting kills. I'm doing the solo, not too big of a deal. Sentinel subclass, void grenades will weaken, so if I do get those opportunities, I'll take advantage. My overshield is going to last longer, and then melee final blows grant grenade injury. This is not like even that great of a loadout, it is just what's there. So, unoptimal as possible, probably. I mean, it's reasonable, but could be way better. I'll show you guys how this one works, and then if this mediocre run can get done, then at least you guys will see that it can be done. And with this gear, while my armor's a little bit higher, you'll see that my weapons are a little bit on the lower side. I'm 1821, so I'm just about as close average as I can be to max effective in a Master Lost sector. But we'll get going. Alright, so first thing, if you can get these guys to line up. Typically try and shoot that canister, and then we want to slow big guy down. If you stun him, it's a good time to pull out the machine gun. You got some good range on him. Once the damage numbers go down, back up a little bit, hide, and then stun him again. And we're pretty close at that point that he should be stunnable. I'm probably going to have to pull out a little bit up here for him to walk to me, but I should be able to finish him. And that's really all I'm going for there. Now, this pulse rifle is one that I wanted to kind of let you guys see and let it shine a little bit, because the kinetic trimmers perk Sustained kinetic damage to a target emits a shockwave that damages nearby targets. And it hits like 3 times. It's way better than I thought it was. So if you see anything with that perk, use it. Now, you're going to have a big group of enemies, so I try and throw my grenade over there. Try and collect them all up. Try and get them to go volatile. Try and let things explode. So you're going to have barriers in the back doing their thing. You're going to have unstops coming up. And this is where this works. Now, think about unstoppables. Easy way to kind of play cat and mouse with them. Peek out of line of sights, and then get back in line of sights. Stun them. Hit them again. Now, the barrier is going to kind of ruin my fun a little bit. Apparently, I'm also going to take him out from far away. So again, if you want an unstop to come to you, shoot it, be in line of sight, kind of be in its area of patrol. And then when it gets nearby, it's much easier to manage. I typically try and save any ammo where I can, so I'll go for finishers if it's at all safe. That barrier up on the cliff, though, that's the worry. So right now I'm going to pick off what I can over here with the scout rifle from range. He's trying to peek. So biggest thing is, if you can stun him, he is really close to stunnable. There we go. So you're going to see these little bursts go off. These are going to be your kinetic bonus. See those little chunks? Oh, that was a canister. Now, if you can get the barrier colossus separated like this, I would stop everything you're doing and keep them this way. If the barrier colossus get together, like they're about to try and do, that gets to be really painful. And I think I just ruined. Yeah, both their healths are back to full. When the barrier colossus are together, it's really, really tough. So this is going to be a bit of a bad run, but we'll leave it just so you guys can see how it can go poorly. Right now I'm just trying to pick off what I can. But if they're together and they both spin up their miniguns, you'll die faster than you can almost do just about anything else. Your goal is going to be to try and move them around and play your cover. Play these outside edges. And again, see if you can find any bits of cover possible here. And this is where attrition is just pain. Just really sucks. He's just waiting for me up there too. So I can take each guy nice and slow. Unstop, get the stun on. Yeah, yes, this does have target lock, so it's a little more effective. But again, it's a legendary machine gun, so you're doing a Master Lost Sector, you probably want a reasonable loadout. Now, one thing my pulse rifle actually does have is it has shoot to loot. So these moments where if you want more ammo, you can actually shoot the ammo and go pick it up from range. It's kind of nice. But those little kinetic bursts that you can get from the kinetic trimmers, really actually pretty damn good. If you get it on battle scars, keep it as a pulse rifle alternative for your barrier champions. It's not too shabby. I mean, shoot to loot's not a bad one to have in a lost sector like this, but I'm sure there's a better perk combo that you could have. It's still pretty good though. Just want to stand still so I can finish you off. No, you're just gonna jump around like a crazy person. Cool. That's that kinetic trimmers. It hits like 3 times up there. Now, your goal with this guy is to try and get a bit of a head glitch. His gun's in his right hand, so if you can get it to where you can see just him, that'll work. Now, I gotta watch my right side for ads over there. But you really want to focus him down, and if I get close, then I will go and just go for the finish. Then we'll come back over here. If one barrier colossus goes down, this whole place gets much easier. So that's why it was worth the focus on him. Makes a big difference when you've only got one of those guys who wants to cook you. Just 2 miniguns, there's nothing. Nobody's that good. So I'm reloaded at a decent state. So if I can hit him with barrier, I'll get a chunk, and then I can probably get some... And this is going to be the kinetic explosions, the kinetic trimmers. that you'll see every so often up there. I gotta make sure I got enough ammo, so if he pops a shield, I'm good. Now, if he starts pushing back a little bit, I'm probably gonna have to get a little more aggressive up here with him, just to make sure I can keep popping that shield. Because if I get him that low, I want to make sure he dies. So here, I'll pull out the machine gun, see if I can go for the kill, and we're good. Now, we should be down to unstops in the boss, amongst a few other ads. So again, keep creeping up the outside here. Should be, again, unstops. And now we just want to pull one of the unstops down if we can, to where you're not dealing with too much else up above. So again, I gotta be ADS, get my unstop, but I know how I can stun him, so it's like I'm playing, it's kind of a dangerous game there, but when you learn the health amounts that you can do damage-wise, obviously should have reloaded my machine gun there a little bit, but we survived it. And again, I'm not even worried about flawless right now. I'm just trying to get this thing done for you guys. So again, I won't actually stun him over there yet. I will really try and pull him around this corner. Let me get really focused in on him here. Now, I'll pull back a little farther here. Still want to be in line of sight with him. That one's going to hurt a little bit more than I want it to. So we doing ring around the rosy here? Come on. Unstops really are not too bad. They don't get their health back, so you can kind of dance around the environment with them, and it's really pretty manageable. Once we get up here, it should just probably be me and the boss and a couple of ads. So if you can get the biggest thing I will tell you about this whole last sector is if you can split up your you can split up the barrier champions. Sorry, I was trying to find those two guys. Split up the barrier champions. That's when you're probably going to be in better shape. If those stick together, it gets to be a little rough. Now I'll go Void. Now with him, what you can do is I can actually sit here. And if I play this right, I can almost line up to where I can still shoot him, barely. But his gun is in his right hand, so he can't hit me. Now if you take some damage, obviously move. But I have the ability with my two abilities to make him volatile for a hot second. That's why I'm trying to use Void. And then we'll just go machine gun here for a little bit. But I'm going to go bigger. Now I don't get to use my super for much. There's no Nova bombs flying around the room or anything, so I'm going to try and use it a little bit here. Just to get a little more damage out of it. He's just a really, really chunky guy for health. So I may as well take the weapons of light while I can. Otherwise, you could sit here and finish him off with a pulse rifle if you had to. And I did that on the first one because I had no grenade ammo. We're almost done. Now this one used to be a hell of a lot faster, but the way things have changed for your health scaling and stuff like that, it's just not as quick as it used to be. It's doable, but still just a little on the slow side. So sub 10 minutes, not bad for a master. But we used to be able to knock this thing out in about 2 minutes. And yes, optimal loadouts, this thing can be done quicker, better subclasses and stuff like that. But there we go. Should be platinum reward since I got the exotic. I'm full on ascendant prisms, or enhanced prisms. So not much I can do there. So let's get back to the surface. We'll wrap this up. But yeah, this is unoptimal. No exotic weapons. Not a great, DPS subclass or anything like that. So you guys can do this way faster, and hopefully you do. But let's get back to planet surface, and we'll wrap it up. So would I probably take advantage of like my retrofit escapade? Sure. Could you use something like Leviathan's Breath for unstops? Absolutely. Hits pretty hard on a lot of things for decent DPS. Wishender for a barrier weapon for solid infinite ammo DPS. Very good. Your unstopped scout rifle, totally up to you. If you prefer to go sword, you could, but it's going to make some of the DPS options much more difficult on the final boss. So it's really up to you guys. Obviously, there are better DPS subclasses Titans kind of get a little screwed in that department. I wasn't going to go Thunder Crash there. So if you've got something like a Nova Bomb or Quiver, Mobius Quiver, where you can shoot multiple times for the Hunter, Void is going to be good. Hunters, probably I would go Void for DPS, maybe Invisibility if you need it. Warlocks, you could definitely embrace the Strain subclass and just, you know, rain Threadling Terror down on everybody. You've got options on your classes. This is, again, no exotics here. Yeah, I got a little exotic help here, but not a ton anymore. This thing's been nerfed a bit. So you guys saw that I can do that with this loadout. Hopefully you can do better. So if you have a loadout that works, drop that in the comments below or just say hello down there as well. If you enjoyed this one, please drop a like on the video. That always helps. If you guys want to find me on Twitch or Twitter, it is Ebontis. But on this video, if you guys are new and enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that alert bell. That'll help my future videos make it to you as well. But don't sleep on that kinetic trimmers. If you find it on a kinetic weapon, keep it. See if it kind of meshes well, but that perk is better than I thought it was going to be. So have a good one, everybody. I'll see you soon.